Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with more iRacing once again. This time round we're here for the ovals. Yes, we're back in the street stocks in VR on our rookie account. Very first race on the ovals here on iRacing, and I think with a bit of luck we might just have put it on pole position ready for this one today. The only man into the 136s there in the end. We've got another 14 car split ahead of us here today, but obviously if you guys do want to enjoy, make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed. I'm still trying to tweak a couple of things with VR, obviously trying to improve the graphics and everything for you guys. Of course, it's never quite going to look as the 4K footage that we normally do, but hopefully you guys still go on to enjoy this. It's going to be a different experience doing the ovals in VR, I think. So there we go, we did stick it on pole, ready for this race. But going to be very, very interesting to see how we fare in this one. I'll be honest, quite nervous about heading into our first oval race in VR. I've got the in-game spotter enabled, still having a couple of issues with Crew Chief. I haven't looked into it properly just yet, so I can hear him. Not 100% sure if you guys are going to be able to, though, over the course of this video, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, I've got the captions on for him anyway, so you guys still just have a rough idea of what is going on. But yeah, I'll be honest, racing around here in normal was okay. Now I've worked out just how bare bones this thing is. Going to be interesting to see how we fare over the course of this race today. We've only got the one lap behind the pace car before we get ready to go green. You can see obviously we've got the mirrors, everything like that. But hopefully we can just keep it clean and tidy. There is the pace car in all its glory as well here on iRacing. But we're going to be going for a second gear launch, 20 laps ahead of us. So it's going to be about a 17-18 minute race there or thereabouts. And yeah, as we head around the final corner then, getting ready to go green here from this Charlotte race. Obviously all free content in the rookie class. We'll just back off from the safety car ever so slightly. I'm expecting there to be some carnage here. The overall rookies always are. Let's just wait and see. Obviously we'll be able to dictate the pace on the start. And we're going to go now. Try and get a nice clean start away. And hopefully that is going to be a straight up into the lead of this race then. So shouldn't have to lift through the first, through either of the turns for the first few laps. We'll wait and see later on as to how the tyres do fare. Just obviously very, very cold rubber at the start of this race. Obviously Charlotte not quite like the big ovals of Daytona and of course Talladega as well, I suppose you probably want to say, in these sorts of cars. Obviously it's not just completely flat every time round, and there can be a small skill gap as well as already the guys behind battling it out there as they try to get a bit close to us through the final corner. Obviously still slipstream very, very important as P2 gets in the wall already in this race. Obviously going to be watching our mirrors a lot over the course of this one here today, but as we head back down in towards the first corner, we do lead at least one lap here in Charlotte. And are we going to see some aggressive moves coming from the guys behind early on? Got P3 trying to get a bit of a run. The 15 car down in towards turn 2. Got one guy on the outside. Are they going to try and make it 3? Or the 15 sticks the nose in, but couldn't quite make it work there. He does move up into P2 as well. The back end really wobbling around at the start of this race. 15 gets to the inside. Let's just see that. That's so cool, the fact you can see him on the inside there as he head back down towards turn 1. Still this thing incredibly loose. Never was the biggest fan of the street stocks, I'll be honest, here on iRacing. But we do get back down to the inside, just underneath him. Not going to try and bump and run too much. We actually do get a good switch back on him as we head down the back straightaway here. As we head in towards turn 2 once more. We'll just lift off ever so slightly, and it looks like they've wrecked each other. And it looks like a lot of the field has been involved in that one. Somehow we've got away with it. We actually got a 0x. I think that was for the 15 spinning into us, I want to say. But yeah, people understandably not happy there. And suddenly we've got a 1.5 second lead in this race as we head back down through turn 1. Only on lap 4 there. So yeah, it really didn't take them long before they all started wrecking each other. Again, don't think that was anything to do with us. I think it was the whichever guy who started in P2 who tried to get too aggressive at the inside of the 15. Hopefully we were just an innocent bystander and all of that. I don't think we did anything. As again, you just can't take these corners flat. The back end really moving around underneath you. Have we got any guys into the pits? By the looks of it, I think, do you get one fast repair in these? Yeah, you do get one fast repair. So that's going to save a lot of these guys, I would have thought, as well, in this race. But now we're just going to try and pull away a little bit of a margin. Obviously we saw carnage in the Mazda race we did earlier on this week. And we've seen carnage here as well. The quicker we get out the rookies, the better, I think. I'll be honest with you guys, so we can get on with some proper racing as well, of course. But anyway, back down in towards the next turn. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully we won't have to deal too much with lap traffic, but you never really know around here. It can be chaotic. Obviously, if guys get involved in a couple of wrecks and still believe they can stay out. We have got one guy into the pits. Whereabouts is he? There you go. You can see him coming back out. That is the number 15. So we are going to come out just ahead of him once more in this race then. We've actually got Joseph, who's taking a couple of tenths out of us at the moment, as I'm still getting heat into the rubber there. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, I think, has P3? No, Johan, I think, just lost a lot of time. Didn't actually lose any places, though. There, clearly had an issue by himself. Maybe nudged the wall or something like that. These things, yeah, might not be the fastest. Might be pretty loose through the corners, but they are built pretty tough as well here. It's still holding a... it's dipping around between sort of 60 and 80 FPS for the most part here. Not too sure why it's struggling so much this time round as we head back down through turn 1. Not even halfway there yet in this race. I think this one's, yeah, probably going to be a bit of a cruise, I'll be honest, with a bit of luck, of course, as long as we don't have to deal with lap traffic too much. Brian there, still out on the track. We took about 4 seconds out of him over the last lap, so we will probably have to lap him unless, of course, he dives it in. As again, you just don't want to do anything stupid around here as well. We've got another guy into the pit lane. Not too sure what's happened to him, but hopefully, yeah, this one we can just have the 4X that we got, just like we had in the Masters, where we got that one 4X earlier on, for people being very, very aggressive and us just not really trying to get involved in it. Back end gets all slippery, back down through turn 1. That pretty much felt like a slide right the way through the corner that time round, but you can control it a bit more, I think, in VR. You can sort of feel what the car's doing a bit more, sort of see the rotation a little bit earlier on, as we're still setting close to 36s in this race here. We're definitely going to lap Brian quite soon. I'm going to guess he's got damage there. You can see him just up the road as he heads back down in towards turn 1. Yeah, no idea why the FPS is dipping so much down the front straightaway here. As, yeah, lap time's definitely just coming off a little bit as the tyres will naturally start to wear out just a little bit more in this race. But yeah, like we said, we kicked off our career just like we did on my main account, actually, with a dub. Can't remember what happened in my first Street Stocks race, I'll be honest, as I think Brian's blown the engine up in that thing, so he is in a world of hurt now, as that thing is, yeah, going to have to pull off to the inside. So, unlucky for him there. I'm guessing, obviously, that's why he was losing so much time anyway. Was due to the damage, and unfortunately he hasn't got the car sorted. But Joseph hanging on in there. He's still less than 2 seconds back, actually, at this stage, as Johan as well, I'm guessing, had bigger issues, hence why he's back down into P12 of this race. It was a 14-car split originally, but I think, yeah, a couple of guys out very early on there, as we are now at the halfway stage, hovering around sort of 140, 150 miles an hour here. You kind of lose the sense of speed in sort of like a weird way in these cars, where I'm so used to doing the Cup Series earlier on this year. I might get back into that over the next couple of weeks as well. It's just trying to find the time once again, obviously. Unfortunately, the Wednesday night slots were pretty good, and then the Saturday morning slots were even better. Unfortunately, just due to a reschedule at work, meant I couldn't do either of them anymore, unfortunately. So I'm thinking about doing the Saturday night ones. It just depends on everything else that's going on, because obviously Saturday night 6 PM normally do spend some time, you know, with the family as well. But yeah, I mean, gap at the moment's pretty stable to Joseph. Obviously very, very difficult for him to really take time out of us around here unless we do something stupid. But yeah, I mean, we're holding on. First race in the Street Stocks is shaping up to be quite a lonely one for the most part, but again, very much feels a similar sort of race to what we had in the Mazdas, where we got people trying it early on, and then just, obviously, where this is a rookie series, people not quite getting where they need to be in these races. Oh, big kick of oversteer. Back through turn 1 there. You've really got to try and get as close to the inside as you can on corner exit, really, just so you can slingshot yourself down the straight there. Try and get as close to the wall as you dare. That's always cool to see in these cars. Well, it's always just so cool in any car in iRacing, I'll be honest. You just have a look around, enjoy it, and obviously just see everything. Ooh, got to be a bit careful of that still. Tyres are definitely starting to go off just a little bit more. We might see more mistakes coming out from guys ahead there. Brian back out onto the circuit. You might end up 2 laps down in this race. But yeah, we're still, gap to Joseph, holding pretty level still. He's keeping us on our toes at this stage of the day. But I mean, doing this here with a sort of like a full 30-car field in proper Cup Series cars, I must admit, must be absolute riot as well here. You know, just so much fun jumping and obviously being neck and neck with people all the time. Obviously, once you got all crew chiefs sorted and everything like that. Yeah, that might be an experience that we might have to try out later on down the line. I mean, it's fun enough as it is, obviously, in normal racing that we've done in the Cup Series this year. But yeah, definitely might have to give that a go at some point down the line as well. They're on to lap 14 of this race. Yeah, I don't know how we can do anything at the moment. I think we're still maximising the car pretty much. I mean, with foot's buried to the floor. Don't think we can really chase personal best. Actually, I say that tyre wear isn't really costing us anything at this stage of the day. As we head back down in through turn 2, you can just see it's sliding around a bit more, but it's not really costing us anything. As we head out of the final corner once again, we might have to deal with some lap traffic later on there. I think Brian is still struggling in his car, so I'm not too sure what he's doing to the poor engine of his street stock, but whatever it is, it's clearly not working out all too well for him, as we've already lapped up to 10th place here. 9th place, not too far up the road, as I think, I know him and Brian, I think we're trading places there for just a moment, I want to say. Not too sure at this stage. As you can see, we've got the stick shift on the right hand side as well. There's definitely some. I think it's Johan, and oh no, that's not what we wanted to do. That'll be a 0x. Didn't need that with 5 to go here from Charlotte, but
five to go.
I mean, yeah, at the moment it's looking like we could be getting this thing into victory lane, unless of course we picked up some damage now. Front end seems fine on that side still. Like I said, these things are built pretty tough, I'll be honest with you guys, where you can see all the reinforcing on the right hand side there, a little bit on the left as well of course, but obviously generally you're trying to protect yourself from hitting the walls in these things as well, so obviously generally a little bit more reinforced on that side, but you never really know. Still pretty easy put these things on the inside wall as well of course, but yeah, the gap's still hovering about 1.9. Shari I think struggling, taking more and more time out of them, but yeah, Joseph still again keeping us honest in the latter stages of this race. Not the most dramatic race in the world, obviously after lap 3 I think it was in this one, so we managed to make it one lap further than the last race we did before we got a wreck. But anyway, down in towards the latter stages of this race. It's another good start to VR. I think this is obviously the problem generally with rookie racing even of course, is generally, I mean, you can get the occasional good race, but a lot of them are very much sort of dominated if you know what you do, and of course having a normal account as well. Probably, I mean, we should be doing this at the end of the day, let's be fair, we should be pretty strong. Obviously around a super speedway might be a slightly different story, not too sure what other races we've got in the rookies over the course of this season, but anyway, heading down the back straightaway for the 18th time. Yeah, Joseph now, gap's coming down the other way ever so slightly, so I think we're definitely losing a 10th or so a lap at this stage. Yeah, the back end still getting just that little bit more loose and lively each time through, but again, it's looking pretty good at this stage of the day. 2 to go here from Charlotte. I love looking at like all the grandstands, everything like that. You know, these are proper sort of modern day coliseums. A lot of the American oval circuits really is good fun to see as well. Of course, not quite the same as Daytona at that rate. Doing that in VR will be very, very interesting to see as well, of obviously all the crowds and everything like that. But yeah, just Joseph, he's still there. He's had a good race, to be fair to him. Number 4 car in this race there. We're in the number 7. Obviously no iRacing to be had, but definitely some SR as well, with only the 4X, I think,
real nice work
over the course of the day. White flag now out here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it looks like this should be good enough to take our first oval victory as well here. Obviously we've already got one on the road. Hopefully we're going to finish off the week with one on the ovals as well, of course, and try and get closer to our D license in both. You can just see a couple of guys at the road there rounding the final corner, but anyway, back down the back straightaway for the final time. Stay as close to the outside wall as you can. Oval racing in VR, very, very cool as well here. As we head through the final corner, it is going to be a race victory here at Charlotte there. Like I said, not the most exciting race in the world, but we did everything we needed to, and that was exactly what you like to see there. It was a 37.2 final lap of the day. I'm pretty certain all of them, apart from maybe the lap where we biffed it down in the 37s, but we certainly deserve that one. Thank you very much, crew chief. Thank you all so much for watching as well. Of course, if you did go on to enjoy, make sure you leave a like and get yourself subscribed. Let's see who won and who lost from that one, as Joseph just pulls alongside us and heads off back down the track. So having a look then at the overall race review, are we getting 0.13 SR from that one? Of course, the SR on the ovals can be a little bit less. It's actually saying we had 0 instant points according to that, so I'm not too sure how we managed that. We had a couple of D-licensed drivers in there as well, of course. But yeah, first to first in the end. Joseph went from... Where did he start, actually, in that race? He started 6th, so a good job done by him there. Jack as well, 12th to 4th is pretty good going. 62 I rating gained as well for him. No other particularly big movers. I think having a look at it, you can see 15th, 14th and 13th all didn't even make it to the start, if I'm not mistaken as well there. And of course, with the one quick repair, yeah, it should have helped out the other guys as well. 20 laps led, perfect race for us. 1,300 SOF, so we were actually top split as well for that one. Of the splits that have registered so far. But thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, if you did enjoy, do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we will be back very, very soon with more iRacing in VR.